the recording for the YouTube video that I'll upload after this. So again, 20th of February, breaking down the NQ. We have yesterday's session that I want to just break down. I did do a video for the masterclass members, which will be more sort of impactful, I guess, more of a breakdown, but I will just quickly go through it this morning since I have already gone through it. But essentially going back quite a while now, we had two variations of extensions that have gone to targets, right? Your first one back down at the start of the month, which traded on the 4th of February, and that went all the way to its targets, negative 23. And once we hit that negative 23, we ended up trading a same anchor new high, which traded its 38 and its 50 on the 7th of February. And that has completed its target, pretty much this week. And ever since that completed, we pretty much have just been around this whole zone of balance. Hence why I have micro extensions in this series. But the reason I outline that is because there is an anchor from that extension, which is where we have been all week. If I put this in double thickness, you can see that halfway back, that high to high, has pretty much been the exact support level this entire week, right? This entire week being a short week, but pretty much Tuesday, bids off it. Tuesday PM, bids off it. Doesn't break the 62. 50 on Wednesday. Again, yesterday, bid right off it. You create your low. You create your higher low, and obviously that trades for 140 points. That is the sequence that I'm going to break down, just purely because, let me just turn my volume down slightly. It's limiting a little bit. But that's the level that I'm going to try, and still limiting. Let's turn it down slightly. That is the level that I'm going to pay attention to. And again, we have traded it on the overnight session as well. So if I go to the 5-minute time frame, you'll be able to see those levels more clearly. Yesterday, I had on the charts, if we go, I can't get it up because I'm sharing the application, but on the trading floor room, you will notice I put in the room yesterday my support and sort of resistance levels. That was at 31.75. I would want to see breaks and holds below for shorts, or breaks and holds above for longs. And what we did is we traded a halfway back after that support level was tested, trades the halfway back, completes negative 23, profit target. Since it pierces the 62, I draw from that extension. It then trades the halfway back, which is your break and retest of your previous highs. And again, in the room, I mentioned I would like ideally we trade 22,200s. That was this level here. Pretty much pierced it, closed above, ATR up, consolidation, ATR up, and it finally completes the negative 100 of the first draw. So this is your first draw here. It trades the halfway back, and it finally completes that negative 100, which is here in red. Okay, make it so you can see. Finally completes, so you can see that draw. Okay, did that go double thickness? No, there we go. Finally completes that negative 100 and also the negative 23 of the draw inside, which is this extension here. Again, this extension here trades the negative 23 and blasts through, hits that negative 100, and then finally comes down and consolidates. The reason I outline that is just to show the trades from yesterday in terms of the long thesis. The shorts were valid until they weren't, i.e. holding above that 130s, trading halfway back, and of course completing two targets, showing that the market is technical in terms of to the upside. So that was yesterday's RTH session. And again, those higher time frame support levels, where they come from, the exact same, very similar extensions in terms of support levels. Again, this is what I had on my screen yesterday. And you can see that 50 and that 62 being the supports, right? That 130s to 150s was that support. And again, that trades, or that high gets put in it then forms your support. You then react, and of course that is where you get your sequences formed. And that completion hit yesterday at 229s, pretty much to the dot, or to the tick, to the point, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, entries at the 50, exits at the 23. That was 140 point trade. So that is your breakdown from yesterday. Going into today, what we have traded, again, just to break down, is on the overnight session, we have come down into this halfway back once, twice, 3 times, and that completion is above us at 22,238. We should, if we hold above 22,200s, we should see 22,400 trade potentially this week at some point today or tomorrow. Yesterday's high is going to be at that 22,300, so it's not a million miles away at all. In terms of the higher time frame on the half an hour, the sequences that I have are still in play, and none of them have broken. So longs are still in play. How easy they are going to be will be another thing, but technically nothing has broken. Not one draw has broken. You tagged the 62, but you never closed below, so you're still technically in trend to the upside. It's just super ugly. If I just zoom out, you can see here I have the 4 hour and the daily. So you can see here, this is the daily chart, which as you can see, you could argue both sides, right? Breakout to the upside, breakout to the downside. Looks like a pennant forming to the upside, but needless to say, it isn't the most cleanest price action. And again, this is the 4 hour chart, wick highs, wick lows, you're pretty much in the middle. So I would say you have much less edge today trading. I'm probably going to be very, very, very selective in terms of what I take, if I take any, just purely because of where we are in terms of price. And also, I think it is OPEX tomorrow, so options expiry tomorrow. Not that it has a super large effect on the market, but it is definitely one to pay attention to. I have tracked the performance of OPEX, and it never really actually gives, in my opinion, that much edge on either side of the market. So it's just something to be aware of. So that is my morning breakdown. Potentially, I'm going to be looking for, in terms of the long side, I would like to see continuations on this negative 23, and then potentially same anchor new highs, back down into support, and then bid long if we do get those reactions. But in terms of the short side, you've got the ES at all-time highs. You've got the NQ pretty much at, I believe, over 79% of its current range. Yeah, you're above the 79% mark, so obviously going to be very, very difficult to trade both sides. Breaks and holds below the 62. Technically, discount longs are wise or are able to be traded. It's just a very, very tight zone right now. You can see pretty much this entire week, right? We've traded, 217 points at the high end of this candle, and Monday 182. So super, super tight ranges as opposed to an ATR of 600 points, right? So, if I could tell you what days were best to trade, it's obviously the days where you have, huge volume. Not necessarily volume is, I guess, to have high ATRs, you're going to have high volume, but in terms of range on the candles is what I'm looking for. And these are really tight ranges, just like, this here is just super tight. So in terms of today, it's going to be, again, low expectations, and just see if play the extensions until they break. That's all I really have. Yeah, I think you potentially rebalance up into this 30-minute candle, which would be a full completion of this draw. However, your weekly halfway back is currently where we are rejecting from. So coincidental, potentially not. But yeah, this is just really, really, really choppy for me, guys, to even trade this, because you're at your weekly halfway back. Breaks and holds above the 62 is what I would like to see to the upside, but then all you're doing is pretty much rebalancing Wednesday's candle, which is not bullish. So I don't know. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't have a clear gauge on the market today, which is rare. But just to be honest, I think yeah, I just don't see there being much edge in the market today. Potentially we catch something nice, but at the same time, I am not going to be disappointed if I don't catch anything today. So sorry if that wasn't useful, but just being honest, I think we're in a very choppy environment at the moment. Range is very, very tight. We will see if anything trades and holds on the RTH, and if it does, I will play those extensions until they break. That low hanging fruit is obviously going to be the overnight halfway back that has currently traded. Failure to complete this level, then I would look for this overnight short to trade. Okay, which is at that 220. So you're just pretty much stuck, in all fairness. So again, not super helpful, but I would rather be honest and hopefully keep you guys out of trouble trying to fight this type of market, because there's nothing worse than trying to fight something that is when you're just trying to lose a fighting battle, in my opinion. So any questions, let me know in the Discord, but I will upload this to YouTube and I will take any questions in Discord, and I'll see you all on the other screen for Trader Fate.